Okay, so to start this session, I would like to do some simulation. So can you all please go to join.nearpod.com. Please grab your smartphone, or you can also open up a browser on your computer or laptop and nearpod.com, and please use this code to join. I can see someone has already joining in. The rest, please join if you want to have the experience of remote learning using Nearpod. So in this simulation, you will be the quote-unquote the student, and I'll be the instructor or the educator for the session. So you can see how students actually experiencing remote learning using Nearpod. Okay, 16 people already the session, the Nearpod session. The rest, if you don't want to join, it's still okay. Just sit back and relax and just watch the screen that I'll be sharing. So the screen that I'll be sharing is the instructor view, yeah. But the one on your mobile or on your browser is the student view. So if you have joined using the code, you will be asked to provide with your name, right? And then once you join, there will be a screen saying welcome, but please wait for your teacher to start the lesson. That's because I haven't started the lesson yet. Okay, so we have 25 joining already. Okay, actually, I can just start now, but the rest, if you still you want to join later, that's still okay. So we have 27 already now. So this is the synchronous remote learning, yeah? Means that it's a real time. I'm conducting the lessons using the video conferencing tool, which is WebEx, and then use the Nearpod as the instructional platform. Okay, let's start. Okay, so first, sorry?
I just want to ask how many students can join per session?
Oh, okay. Actually, for today's session, because I'm using the gold account, but if you are using the free account, silver account, only 40 students can join at one particular real-time session.
Okay, thank you, Doctor.
Sure. Okay. We can also have the asynchronous one. Actually, I have prepared a code for asynchronous lesson as well, but just in case we have more than 50 participants, but still we still have enough space. So for those who haven't joined, you can try to join the lesson using the code WRHME. Okay, so for today's session, inshallah, sharing on how we can simulate remote learning using Nearpod. So this is what I'm currently. So this is the simulations of the remote learning using Nearpod. And then later, we will see how we can actually design and create synchronous and asynchronous remote learning using Nearpod. And at the same time, we can also look at how we can embed formative assessments in Nearpod. And for today's workshop, also have a look at the link that I share here, bit.ly/nearpod.uum, where there is a remote learning tools guidelines prepared by the HEA, where we in that guidelines, page 40, there's a module on Nearpod, which I have prepared, okay, in that guidelines. So I'll be using that as well to conduct this workshop. So just in case you want to refer back later after this workshop, you can just go to these guidelines. All right. Do Do we have participants from outside UUM? No? Okay, never mind. So if no, everybody's from UUM, so I think you can just go to HEA website and get the guidelines from the website. Otherwise, if you are from, you can also go to UUM website or just go to this link that I provide here. Let's start. Okay, so this is how I like to start my lesson with. Normally, I will get some preliminary information about my students. So perhaps we can also have this poll and please respond. How would you rate your knowledge about Nearpod so that I can have some idea on the participants that we have today. So hopefully I can customize a bit the workshop, cater to needs. You can go to join.nearpod.com and enter code WRHME. Okay, we have 75 participants. 36 joining the live session. I'm sharing also at the chat the link to the asynchronous mode. Where is the chat? Okay. So if you want to experience the asynchronous mode, you can go to the link that I provide at the chat room, or you can go and use the code CPFOE for the asynchronous. Okay. In the meantime, please respond to this poll. Sorry, for the asynchronous, not synchronous. Okay. So we have response already here. If you look at my screen, we can see that most answer A, which I know nothing about Nearpod. Oh, are you sure? Okay, and then some of you response B, I have heard about Nearpod but never use it. And then 5 of you have moderate knowledge. Okay, actually I can also share the summary of this poll to your mobile. So if you can see on your device, there will be a pie chart there telling the how many of you respond A, B, C, and D. Okay, so that I get 55% of you response that you know nothing about Nearpod. So okay, I'll go slowly, inshallah. So this is the first activity that I have in the Nearpod lesson. Yeah, I started my lesson with a poll. So you can do that as well later when you design a Nearpod lesson. Okay, now I can unshare back. Okay, so for those who are joining the session, you can see both, yeah, view from my screen sharing and also the student view from your own device. And then later, after this simulation, I will show you how we can create this lesson. Okay, next slide. So this is just a very brief introduction on what is Nearpod. So basically, Nearpod is an instructional platform that can merge slide presentation with formative assessment and also dynamic media for supporting interactive learning experience. So for example, this is the slide, and the previous one, we have interactive activity, which is the poll. Okay, and after this, we will have more activities and also some examples of formative assessment embedded in the Nearpod. Right, so these are the features of Nearpod that I think will be of interest. So we can easily find or create interactive lessons in Nearpod. We can actually create our own lesson from scratch in Nearpod, or we can use existing lesson from Nearpod library. So Nearpod has a library where it has a collections of pre-made lesson by other educators. So we can actually find the pre-made lessons, and then there are some free lessons and some are paid. For the free one, we can copy and then make some edits on it, yeah? Or we can actually create lesson from existing materials, okay, such as PowerPoints or PDF file. I put this in red because I think this is we are interested in, perhaps, okay, because we might have already prepared our slides in PowerPoint, or we have materials in PDF formats, and then we want to convert to a Nearpod lesson. So we can do that. And I will show you on how to do this later after this simulation. And then we can also create lesson using Google Slides. But I mean, if you are familiar with Google Slides, Google applications, you can also easily create a lesson from the Google Slides. Okay, so we can see later in our Nearpod account, there is a drag and drop. We can easily upload files in image file, PowerPoints, or PDF. This is another features of Nearpod, in which it support synchronous learning during live instruction. So this is what we are doing currently. Okay, so now I'm conducting a synchronous learning for the Nearpod topic. Okay, and it's a live instruction supported by web conferencing, which is WebEx. And it can be shared easily with our students, such as those who have joined in. So perhaps those who are joining in, how do you feel so far? Can you get the feeling of synchronous learning using Nearpod as a student?
Yes, it's best.
Yeah.
Tenas best. Nampak dekat our own handphone and also your slide on the laptop.
Yes. Okay. So this is what is happening when we conduct a Nearpod lesson. This is the instructor view on my screen, and then on your students is the student view. But because we are conducting the synchronous learning lesson, we have the control of our students' viewing. Meaning that if you realize, you can't go back or to the next slide, but you have to wait for me to go to the next slide, or I can also go back to the slide. and it will also happens in your device. All right. So next is also support asynchronous or self-paced learning, which means we can create the lesson, okay, and then share the code like the one that I did just now. I shared the code for the asynchronous learning. So actually, after this session, you can also go to that asynchronous session because I have create the asynchronous lessons for about 1 month. So you can have access to that, okay, up to 1 month. Okay, so that's what going to happen to our student as well. So if you want to share the lessons for a longer time and we want our students to have access at their own pace and time, we can do the asynchronous one. But okay, unfortunately, for Nearpod, the self-paced lessons only available for Gold account and up. However, there's a good news about this. During this COVID-19 MCO, Nearpod has made it available for the free account as well. So please grab this opportunity and you can try this and also create asynchronous lessons with our students, even if you are using their free account. Okay, we can also share the link or the code of the lesson if you are using the self-paced lesson in our learning management system. Okay, for example, if we are in UUM, we use UUM online learning. So we can just copy and paste the link, the sharing link or the code online learning. And don't forget to put it as an activity, the title of our activity in the UM online learning, so that it can be counted as activity for the blended learning purpose. Okay, so we can do that. All right, this is another interesting features that I think I like most about Nearpod, because we can have lots of activities, yeah, and we can also have formative assessments like we have done before. We have a poll activity, and then after this I will show you on some formative assessment activities such as a quiz and also open-ended questions and others as well. Okay, so everything is under one roof. Okay, I'm not saying that other tools, like for example this one, if you can see here at the picture, this is the Collaborate board. It looks like Padlet. If you are familiar with Padlet, it's actually almost similar. It's kind of like sticky notes where you can put in some comments or add in pictures into the wall. But everything is in the Nearpod. You don't have to kind of like stop sharing the PowerPoints, for example, if you are using PowerPoint and then open up for Padlet, or if you want to do poll, for example, normally we also use other apps like Polef, right? So using Nearpod, we can do almost not everything, but many activities, I would say, in the Nearpod itself. Okay, am I too fast? Okay, please let me know if I'm too fast. Yeah. Okay, so the next activities. Sorry, I can't hear you. Hello. What's that? Sorry, tak ada. Okay, this one is open-ended questions, yeah? Oh, perhaps you can provide some feedback based on what I have shared in the previous slides. How do you think Nearpod can support you in conducting remote learning? So this is kind of examples when we conduct online lesson with our students. So after we discuss, talk on a few topics, okay, with a few slides, we can stop and have an activity.
Oh, ada.
Okay, so all right, we have someone already provide responses here. Okay. The rest, please. Okay, actually, as an instructor, we can also hide the student's name. Okay, we can hide the student's name. If you can see at my bottom screen, there's a button show or hide student names. So if I click here,
So, yeah, okay.
it will hide the student's name. Okay, so maybe it depends on how you want to do this with your students. If you feel like your students maybe feel a bit shy, don't want their name to be appear, don't want everybody to know who's, so you can hide their name. Or if you want to have more open discussions, we can show students' name, because later we can do kind of like detail or further discussions based on the students' responses. Okay, so we have 27 participations already here. Okay, so if we are in the face-to-face class, normally we will also stop, right? And then ask our students with some questions, and we hope that some of them will give feedbacks, right? But using this Nearpod, okay, we can first get response from everybody. Okay, we get a response from everybody first, and then as the instructor, we can scan through the responses, and if we feel like, oh, this is a good response, or oh, this is good, but I think we have to discuss this in further. Okay, so we can choose to share it, kind of like we push our students' attention to just look at this particular response, and we can discuss that further. Okay, if I show back the student name, I can see who's feedback this one, which is Leah. So in our own class, normally we know our students, so we can like, okay, Leah, maybe you want to talk further about your response, or maybe other students want to have more clarification about this response, and so on. Okay, so it's not that our students just listen to us, just view the slides, but they also provide responses, and we can also engage based on what they have provided in the responses. Okay, so far so good?
Dr. Nas,
Yes.
because you tick this share button, that's why on my screen appear making the student more engaged in class.
Yes.
Oh, all right, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's kind of like I push only this response to everybody's device.
Oh, all right. So every student will get this particular answer.
Yes.
Their screen. Okay, all right. Thank you.
So everybody will see only this, making the students more engaged in class. So we can start talking about this
Okay, thank you.
for the detail. Or we can call the owner of the response. For example, Leah. Maybe Leah, if you want to share what you mean by making the students more engaged in class, please grab your mic.
Sorry, Dr. Nas, but then according to this apa ni on via the phone ni, the apps, so that means the other students they can't how to say they can't reply to this message. That means they can only see macam tu saja. Is it?
Okay, yeah, because everybody not provide feedback yet, right? But I have already shared the response. Okay, if I unshare, we'll go back to the normal screen. So for those who haven't answered, you can still answer it. So normally we will wait for everybody to respond first before we start sharing. You get what I mean?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So now I open. Okay. Some of you still haven't responded, but because this is just a training, so I don't want to wait for everybody to respond. So I can just choose and then Azizia A, like wow. Okay, what do you mean by wow? So I can share this with everybody. And perhaps if Azizia want to talk further about wow, okay, we can call, I don't know, he or she to talk about it. Okay, so it's encouraged for more deeper discussion in our lesson. Okay. Activities already. The first one just now, we have done poll. Okay, and then this is the second one, which is the open-ended questions. So that's what I mean, that we can have activities in between slides. So if you look at my examples here, this is like my slides. I have the first introduction page, and then I poll in the next slide. Okay, and then I start with the lesson, discuss on the topics. Okay, and then I stop and we do the open-ended questions. Okay, and then we continue. Okay, so it's kind of like we have interactions with our students. It's not just we giving lecture based on the PowerPoint slides, but at the same time, we can capture students' responses. And everything that student response in the Nearpod will be recorded in the report. So after the session, we can always go back to the report and we can see responses that has been provided by our students. All right, so these are the kind of activities or formative available in Nearpod. So later, when we go to the demonstration part, we'll see that when we add, we can have like time to climb, open-ended question, matching pairs, quiz, flip grid, draw it, collaborate, poll, fill in the blanks, and memory test. All these are available for free version, yeah, for free account. Okay, for today's session, I will just show a few examples. So I have done poll and open-ended questions. Later, I will show a quiz. So hopefully you are with me so that you can answer the quiz later. Pay attention to what I've shared before. Okay, and then we will have collaborate as well. And maybe later we will add other activities. Okay, such as like draw it. Okay, I'm not into matching pairs or fill in the blanks and memory tests because I think it's not really suitable for today's session. Okay, we are not going to test you on the, you know, on your memory or on the cognitive recalling activities, things like that. But it really depends on how you design your lesson. If you think it's suitable with your course learning outcome or with your learning outcome of the topics or the lessons of that day, you can always embed any of these activities. All right, time to climb is quite new. Okay, actually, I just realized this like a few weeks ago when I create the remote learning guidelines. So this is the gamification features, yeah, like quizzes or Quizlet if you are familiar with. I'm not going to show this today. Perhaps we can have another session on this. And also Flipgrid. This is also quite new. It has integration with Flipgrid. If you are familiar with Flipgrid, it's a video-based applications where you can have a student's response or student reflection or student feedback in the form of video-based learning. So it also can be embedded into Nearpod. But I'm not going to look into this too today, perhaps in another session. All right. Quiz time. Okay, maybe I should hide the student's name so that everybody will answer. Can you give it a try? Okay, this is just for training purposes, so I just have like two. Never mind if it's correct or incorrect. It's just for simulation, so we can see how it is if our students answer it correctly or incorrect. Okay, and we can always control or monitor the progress. Like this one, we know that 61% haven't answered. Okay, so we can still have we can still give time to our students to answer, or otherwise we can also set time for the quiz. Yeah, when we design the lesson letter. Okay. All right. You want me to reveal the score? Okay, we can wait until I'm not going to do that. So I will just share. And on your device. Okay. Like myself, well, actually, I also joined the session as a student. And so I got my own score. Yours scored 0 out of 0. So on your own mobile or on your own device, you will see your own score plus the percentage of. So for example, this is only 2 questions. So if you get 1 correct, so you will get 50% correct, 50% incorrect. Did you get that? Yes. Okay. Good. All right. Okay. So we can actually discuss directly here. Okay, by looking at okay, unshare first. So for example, I want to look at this student. No answer. This one is no answer. Okay, like this one. I choose the second one. Okay. See, and we can directly discuss with the students on the questions. So the following is not true about Nearpod. The answer is we can edit the content of the uploaded PowerPoint in the Nearpod. Yeah, okay. So perhaps I didn't this before. So yeah, but yes, we can create our own lesson in Nearpod. We can add interactive activities in Nearpod, yes. And we can use Nearpod with video conferencing tool for real-time learning. Okay, I think I've mentioned all these 3 and not this one. So that's the answer. Okay, and yes, when we uploaded PowerPoint slides, we cannot edit the contents of the slides already. Okay, because it's kind of like been convert into. Okay, and then if you want to discuss for the next questions, we can just go to the next questions, and okay, we can discuss with the students. Nearpod can support the following activities except. Okay, so this student get it right. So open-ended questions, yes. No. Okay, online quiz, yes. Matching pairs, yes. Okay, so this is just an example of how we can actually conduct a quiz in our remote learning lesson. Yeah? Okay. Now with the quiz, go to the next slide. Okay, so now I'm sharing you a web content. Okay, if you look at your own mobile or your device, you can actually navigate this slide. But as the instructor, I can't. I can't do it here because instructor controls students' navigations of the site. Okay, so if you want to look further into the plans of the Nearpod, so you can just go to one of it. Have a look. Okay, so okay, can you have control to the website? Oh no. Yes. Okay, so basically, free versions of Nearpod, the basic features are we can convert PowerPoints, Google Slides, PDFs, and images into Nearpod lessons. We can create new slides, or we can customize slide themes and layout. We can have we can add GIFs or backgrounds to the slides. We can upload video. We can have web contents like this one, or YouTube videos. We can have a link to the YouTube videos. Open-ended questions, poll, quiz, draw it, matching pairs, and all the collaborative or formative assessment features that I have shown before. And then we can also make a copy of existing Nearpod lessons. So for example, if we already created one lesson, we can duplicate that lesson, okay? Make changes into that particular lessons. Okay, and we can have post sessions reports, meaning that after each sessions, we can always go back to the reports of previous sessions. Okay, we can do live lessons or teacher pays. We can also hide student names.
So, sorry, Dr. Nas. So, meaning, let's say if we have 9 chapters, so that means we are going to give 9 code to the student, is it? I mean, based on weekly, is it? Can we do something like that?
Yes, definitely.
I see. So,
and it's better to have like different lessons for different topics rather than you have everything. It's going to be like too long, the lesson.
meaning for each of the chapters, so we can assign apa ni, each individual poll and quizzes according to the chapters.
Yes. So every lesson will have its own activities.
See.
So for example, for topic 1 or chapter 1, you create a lesson and you want to have only open-ended questions or and poll. That's fine. Okay, and then you create another lesson for chapter 2. In that lesson, we can have a quiz with poll. Sorry. Perhaps all of you can turn off your microphone. See. Okay. If you're not using the microphone, please turn it off, yeah? Mute off. Okay, sorry, I have to mute everybody because I can hear echoes, very strong echoes. But if you want to talk, just grab your turn on your microphone back, and then when you're done, please turn it off. Okay. Any other questions? No. Okay. Clear so far, Pak Izahani. Thank you. Okay, let's go to the next slide, or perhaps next activity. Okay, all right, so this is the slide. This slide is a collaborate board. Okay, as an instructor, normally you will be asked whether you want to approve students' comment before they post it, or you can just allow them to post. So I will just take no here, click no. So just post to the wall. Okay, so can you drop your questions or feedback here? And you can also insert image too. Okay. Please have a try, because this is what you want your students to do later. How many slides can we share in one lesson? Okay. Well, while waiting for others to respond, I will go and choose some of the questions and give some feedback. Yeah. Okay. How many slides can we share in one lesson? Actually, there's no limits of the slides, but for the free versions, it's up to 20 megabyte, the size of the lesson. Okay. But I would suggest don't use too many slides, because it's going to take like hours. Just for example, for today's session, I only prepared like 9 slides. But because I have activities in between, so it took like 45 minutes already now. Okay, so that's what going to happen in your lesson if you want to do Nearpod. Well, actually, you don't need too much slides. Okay, but we can make it more interactive by having more activities. Okay. Another questions? If the student is using handphone, will she or he be able to view WebEx and Nearpod effectively? Okay, I'm not sure about this, but actually you can like minimize the WebEx window and then open up the Nearpod. Okay, but maybe it's difficult to have like side by side, like when you are using desktop or laptop. But using handphone, you still can minimize the apps. Yeah, so you have to like navigate one to another. But I think if we are using Nearpod, it's not. I mean, the WebEx is just a platform to allow for the synchronous learning to happen. But your students don't really need to have a look at the Nearpod. At the WebEx screen, because it's the instructor's view. So it's okay if they just look at their Nearpod. Okay. Okay, I like the Nearpod features very much. All right. How long can one lesson be if we are using Nearpod? Okay, again, there's no time limit for this. Like today, we have run for about 48 minutes already, just for the simulation. Okay, and then later we will do the demonstration, and hopefully it will like end before in about 2 hours. So you can always preview the lessons before you launch the live session, so that you can have the feeling of how long the session would last. Okay, so for example, for this session, I estimate around 45 to 1 hours for the simulations, and yeah, it's already 48 minutes now. Okay, so it really depends on how you design your lesson. But for the remote learning, I would suggest with our students, yeah, especially, don't make it too long, because I think HEA also has provided the guidelines that mention about we shouldn't do the synchronous learning, like for if our class is 3 hours, don't necessarily to do the synchronous learning for 3 hours. So 1 hour is enough. The rest can be asynchronous. And if we are conducting the asynchronous, as long as they want. Okay. I don't know whose question from Dr. Mina? Okay, so I can show the names if I want, or we can. Would you like to approve students? No. Okay, what else? Yeah, stay at home. So just do our lesson remotely using Nearpod. Are you recommending for the student to use laptop? Yes, I would recommend the student to use laptop, but actually they can use because for the Nearpod, we can ask our students to download for the Nearpod apps, okay, from the App Store, okay, download it to their handphone, so it's more easier for them to access the Nearpod because they don't really have to sign up for an account. They just need a code from us, okay, and if for this kind of activities, I think they can easily answer using their mobile phone. No, not really need for them to have laptop or desktop. Okay, can integrate with sure about this, but I'll check about this and perhaps I can share it a bit later. Okay, but if we can have the drawing activities. Okay, we can have a drawing board, but I'm not sure what do you mean by drawing pad here. Another application outside the Nearpod, outside the Nearpod, perhaps we can't do that. Okay. Okay, so this is the same question. Students need to have both hand and laptop, blah blah blah. Okay, I've done. I've answered that. Does the apps use a lot of internet data? If you are using the apps that installed to the mobile phone, I think it will reduce the internet data. Okay, because students just access the Nearpod in the apps version, which normally with the apps version, the size is much smaller. Okay, can the synchronous and synchronous, sorry, what is? Can the synchronous and asynchronous learns participate? I have this question is and asynchronous learners participate at the same time? More than one device? Yes, you can. Otherwise, just one. Okay. Okay, I have tried this. Good. Why is this called Nearpod? I'm not sure about that. Sorry. It's the name given by the developer. Okay, excited to try with the students. Yes, please. Very interesting. May consider Nearpod. Yes, interesting tool. Thank you. Will take time to learn these tools. Okay, without Webex, as you mentioned, is the students can hear the instructors. You can use other platform. If you are using Zoom, Google Meet, or Skype, or even using video conferencing tools, yes, your student can hear your voice. But for the asynchronous one, they don't have to listen to your voice because asynchronous one, they just get the slides, okay, and then they do the activities, okay. So maybe if you want to do the asynchronous one, your slides will be much detailed compared if you want to do the live lesson. Okay. What is the difference between synchronous and synchronous link? All right, this is a good question. Okay, so to answer this, we have to first understand what synchronous mean and what asynchronous mean. So synchronous means that we are connected with our students at a real time, like this one, what we are doing today. So everybody are in this conference room, okay, and we are doing the lessons at the real time, at the same time, at the same place. Same place meaning within the same platform, okay, even though we are separated by our own house and place like that. But we are at the same virtual platform, which is Webex. Okay, so that's synchronous. Whereas asynchronous is we just share the link so the student can have access to the link at their own time and pace. Okay, so normally we just or the link, okay, and then we set the time period from when to when they can access the lesson, okay, and they can do it at their own. Okay, so if you can go back to the chat box, I have shared the sharing of this lesson in asynchronous mode. After this session, you can come back. I thought someone is asking. Okay. Okay, what else? Can we record Nearpod using Loom or Screencast-O-Matic, then let the students see synchronously? Well, yes, but I think it beat the purpose of having asynchronous lessons in Nearpod, because if you record the Nearpod using Screencast-O-Matic, so it's going to be a video. Okay, so the student just view your lesson. They won't be able to do the activities. Have video in the Nearpod. Okay, so you can have a video. So in video, perhaps you want to talk about some topics so that your students can have clearer understandings of the topic. With Nearpod, I have a large class size. Okay. I would say if you have more than more than 40 students, because for the free versions, it allows for 40 participants. So you can have two lessons. If you want to have a synchronous one. But if you have it asynchronous, where you have to have the Gold account, but now you still can do that because for the free version, you are allowed to do the asynchronous as well. So for the asynchronous, there's no limit. So 101 students can go to that asynchronous one. But if you want to have the synchronous lesson, the real time, like this one today, so I would suggest that you divide your students into two groups. Because when we conduct remote learning, for example, if our class is like 1.5 hours, we have like the first 45 minutes with group A, and then another 45 minutes with group B. Okay, so they all can get the experience of remote learning, but only for 45 minutes and separated into groups. That's what I can suggest. Okay, more than 40 students. All right. Use this drawing pad. I'm teaching maths. Okay. I'm not sure about this. But we'll try later at the drawing board. Okay. Have analytics or report on participation? Yes. Yes. You can always go back to the reports and you can see who participates and who responds to the questions, quizzes, and so on. Okay. I think we are almost towards the end of the simulation. So for the conclusion, this is what Nearpod is all about. It can help us to engage our students by combining slides, multimedia elements, and also assessment tools. And we have done that. We have slides. We also have multimedia elements. The one that I embed today is the web contents. We can also have video, but I'm not using that because I'm afraid it's going to take quite a big bandwidth, so I keep that aside. Okay, and we also have assessment tools. We have done with open-ended questions and also quiz. So actually, when you are conducting the lesson, you can always add activity spontaneously. On top of the screen here, at the instructor's view, there is add activity button. Okay. And add, for example, if you want to have web content, you can just click here and give the link. For example, okay. So for example, if I want to share my portfolio, okay, I can add that here and you can have access to it. Okay, and this one is kind of, I add it spontaneously. The one that we have done before, the poll, the open-ended questions, and the quiz, I've prepared that in advance, yeah, before this lesson. Okay, it may take some time for connecting. So I close this activity. Yes. Okay. Others, you can also have draw it. Okay, so this is what I mean by draw it. Okay, so perhaps we can ask our students to draw using board. Okay. Maybe how you feel now. Please, your face expression. So we can have individual drawing from our students. Using your mouse, or if you are using a touch screen, you can use your drawing tools. Okay, all right. The drawing features that are available in Nearpod, but it's not the drawing pad like you, the instructor, draw, okay, on it. Okay, I have few questions here. Can we create a video here? Where here? Yeah, you can video is you create outside the Nearpod into the lesson. Yes, you can. You can attach a video link to the slide via YouTube. Yes. Thank you, Dr. Nobaya, for the answer, for the response. So if you're on, you record it outside and then embed it as a video, or upload it into YouTube and provide the link of the YouTube into the Nearpod lesson. Okay, so we have so many drawings here. Okay, interesting. So this is not really for cognitive or formative assessment. Okay, this is just for fun. All right. Okay, so I think that's all for the simulation. So I will end the session now. And then if you look here, there is a button here on top of it. You can always do it while the lesson, or we can keep it for later viewing. Okay, so normally we won't view the report while the lesson is on. Okay, so I will just end the session. Are you sure you want to end the session? Yes. So you can see that the session ended on your mobile, and we are done with the simulation. Okay. Okay, so this is the second hour. We will going to do the demonstration. Okay, so I will log out first. Okay, now we have experienced the remote learning using Nearpod for synchronous lesson. Yeah, and I'm the instructor, and you are the students. Okay, so now we want to look at how we can create our own lesson. Okay, so to do that, please go to nearpod.com. Okay. If you want to go with me, yes, you can. Otherwise, you can just watch it first and then try it later. Yeah, because I'm afraid that it's going to take time if I wait for everybody to log in and to sign up for an account and things like that. Okay, so just go to nearpod.com. If you have no account yet, just sign up for free here. Okay, and you can use either Google account or Office 365 to sign up for Nearpod, or you can create your own. Okay. Or if you already have an account, log in. Okay, log into the account. Okay, like me, I'm using Google, so I will log in using my Google account. Okay. So account there. All right. So this is my library or my Nearpod account. Okay, for the first timer, your My Library lessons will be empty. Yeah, for the first timer. If you just create your account, you won't have this. You will only have this one. Okay. You want to find for lessons that have been created by other people, you can go to Nearpod Lesson Library here. Okay, and then just search for lessons. Okay, so there are many lessons has been provided according to subjects and grades. Okay, but it's more for the K-12 grades. Yeah. So what we are more interested to do today, I think we want to create our own lesson. Okay, so we can create our own lesson either using Google Slides or lesson in Nearpod. So what I'm going to show today is we will create lesson in Nearpod. Okay, create lesson in Nearpod. Okay, so this is what I mentioned just now, that we can drag and drop prepared PowerPoint, or if we have materials in PDF format or image. Okay, so how to do that is you just click upload here and choose where the file is. It can be from your desktop or computer, or from your Google Drive, Dropbox, or the OneDrive. Okay, so for to do the one that already in my computer. Okay. So choose where the location of the file is. So for example here, this is the slide that I prepared for today's lesson. Yeah. So I have nearpodrl.pptx, the PowerPoints, and the size is 1.5 megabytes. And this slides only contains 9 slides. Okay. So once you have choose, you on it, okay, choose it and then choose. My screen, yeah. Thank you. I feel like talking to myself sometimes. So I would love to have to hear some voices. Perhaps if you want to just interact with me, turn on your mic. Okay. It will take some time to upload the files. Okay, and because my file I'm using like lots of images, so it's gonna take some time to upload to the Nearpod. So that's why normally I will advise not to use too long, not too many pages, and not too big. Okay, the file size shouldn't be too big. So if you are the one like I'm the one like who like to have lots of images or pictures in my slides normally. So yes, it's gonna make it quite a bigger file. So file processing, sit back and relax. Your file will be ready shortly. Continue editing. Okay, oh, this is quite fast as well actually. Okay, so now I have this lesson here that I uploaded from my PowerPoint files.
Okay. Kita lah semua ketat. Kenapa? Saya dah gemuk lah tu. Buku saya dah ketat semua.
Oh, hello. Turn off your mic. So this is like, can you see? Only 8 slides only. But later, after we add activities, it's going to be like 13, 14 pages. Okay. So what we're going to do is, when we are ready with the slide, okay, We can add another here. We can add content, which means add another slide, or we can add activity or web content. Okay, so this is where the button add activity that I showed you before in the simulation, where we can have the activities, the activities, or the formative assessment. Okay, so you can click here to go for more activities. Okay, so for example, I want to have poll. Click on poll. Okay, and then you will get this window where you can enter your questions here or and the answer options. And it also support this mathematical symbols, yeah. So if you are teaching maths, this might be of interest. This is beta version, meaning kind of like trial. Okay. So whilst it's free, you can try it. Okay. So enter your questions here. So for example, I just key in here question 1. This is answer 1 and answer 2. Okay. And then if you want to add more answer, click here. Okay. So you will get more answer. So you can have three and answer 4. It really depends on you, okay, how many answer options that you want to have. Okay, and then we can have timer here if you like. So it's kind of like provide a time setting for the students to answer. To wait like for everybody to respond. Okay. All right. So once you are done, you can save. Okay. You can also add media if you like. So once you save it, it will appear on the lesson. But where is it? Oh, here. It kind of like at the end of the lesson. So how we can, if you want to put it like at the beginning, just click, drag and drop. Okay. So you always rearrange the slide. Okay. Now we have one activity already in there. Okay. What to do next? To talk anything? Someone? Okay. No. All right. Otherwise, we can add another activity. Okay. Like what I'm just showing the one that I did before, yeah, so that we can relate with the simulation that we have done. Okay. So we can have open-ended questions, for example. So here we have the open-ended question. And enter here. Okay, so maybe question to ask. Huh? Okay. What is your conception of remote learning? Perhaps this is just an example. Get some response from our students regarding their understanding of a particular concept. So we can ask them some kind of questions like this one. Okay. So again, we can add time or we can add media. Okay. If we add media like image together with the questions, yeah. But I try to reduce as much of this kind of things as much as possible because we don't want to make the lesson too big. Okay. Enable student audio recording. Okay, this one is like this is beta version. So again, it's on trial. So you can try this. And this is good to support students with some needs. Yeah, for example, if they are not able to type in, so they can audio record their voice. Or if you purposely want them to respond in audio recording, so you can set this. Okay. Save. Okay. So once we save it, again, it go to the end of the lesson. Okay. So where you want to put this? Okay. So just drag to where you want it to be. Okay. Maybe here. It depends on your design. Yeah. Okay. Do the lesson before we. Sorry. Can view the lesson before we post it. I mean, before we actually teach it. Yes, yes. I will show you after that. There is a preview button down here. Once we are done with the lesson creation, we can already preview it. Okay. 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 Do you want to have more examples? Okay. Let's.
Online lah. Hari ni cuti ni Wesak ni. Dia dia buat online. Dia tak kira cuti.
Ya, hari ni cuti. If you want to add more activities, okay, for example, to have the quiz, okay, the quiz, okay, just choose quiz, okay, and then it will bring us to the quiz window. So this is very straightforward. Once you have access to the Nearpod account, once you have created your Nearpod account, you can easily do this. Okay, don't worry. Okay, so just enter your question. So for example, here I just because I want to be quick. So this is question 1. So this is answer A, B, and if you want to add more answer, create add answer, okay, and D. Okay, and this is question 1 of 1. Yeah. So if you want to add more questions, just click here, add question. Okay, add questions down here. So it will bring us to the second questions box. Yeah. So key in your questions here and your answer options again. Okay. If you want to have more than 4 choices, you can. Okay. E, F, for example. Okay, but normally if you do the MCQ, it's about around 4, right? Okay, so it really depends on how you design your items. Okay, so to add more questions, add questions. So it will go to the question number 3 and just repeat this process until you are done with your questions. Okay. Okay. Okay, once we are done with the questions, okay, for example, we are done. We have 4, you can have 4, 5, or up. I'm not sure how many questions you can have, but normally we won't be giving like too much quizzes, up to 10, I think. Okay. So we can also have a title for this quiz. Okay, so perhaps you want to name the quiz for chapter 1. Okay, so it depends on your topics. Okay, and save. Oh, please complete the required fields. Oh, okay. Oh, what does it mean? We have to put the correct answer. Yeah? Sorry, I missed that. Okay, so for example, for question 1, the correct answer is B. So we have to tick that. Okay, to indicate that's the correct answer. For question 2, for example, if the correct answer is C, tick there until green color appears there. Okay, and for question 3, for example, the correct answer is D. Okay, so once we are done, we save it. The answers to the open questions can be created or displayed or stored. Okay, if Dr. Okay, Kak Faika. All right. If we are conducting the like just now, so we can always look at the answer directly, okay, during the session. but otherwise it will be stored in the reports. Okay, I will show you after this on how we can always check back the reports. Yeah, okay. So we have done the quiz. Okay, so again, the quiz is here. So we can just drag where we want it to be. Or actually, you can always put your cursor in between this. Like for example, you want to add slide here. So you can add the cursor here so that to create the activities, it will go at the right position. I think it shouldn't be a problem because you can just drag and drop easily. Okay, 3 activities already: poll, open-ended questions, and quiz. Okay, okay, maybe I can show the last one. Okay, add slide, and we have web content. Okay, activities. Now I want to add web content. So here, this is the place where you can add link to YouTube video, or you can have link to a website. Okay, so for example, if you want to ask my students to read for an article or to read for a news or whatever from the website, so I can just give the URL of the website. Okay, so for example, www.uum.edu.my. Okay, so we can always test this link first before we save. Okay, you can test the link. Okay, all right, it works, yeah. That's good. Okay, so we close this one, and once we are satisfied that the link is working, then we save. The same things if you want to share for YouTube video. So just get the URL of the YouTube video and put it on the website content. Okay, so I think that's enough of examples of how we can add activities. Next, I just want to give some. Just now we add PowerPoint slides, right? I just want to show you that we can actually add PDF files. Okay, PDF files. I'm just showing an examples here. And it happens that I have this one new PDF file that maybe I can share with all of you. So upload as individual slides, yes, because we want it to be like one slide, yeah, for one PDF file. Okay. If you have like 5 pages of PDF, it's going to be 5 slides. And for this example, I only have one PDF file, so it's going to be 1 slide. Okay. So, file processing, sit back and relax. Right. Okay, actually, this is just perhaps a good news for me. I just received my certification of as a Nearpod certified educator this morning. So this is from Nearpod, and Alhamdulillah, after going through the, after Nearpod for quite some times, and then I also conduct Nearpod lessons for several times, and conducting training and also attending webinars by Nearpod itself. I managed to apply for Nearpod certified educator, and I got it. Yeah, it's just like fresh from oven. This morning I received the email. So the date of the certification is May 5th, 2020, which is yesterday. All right. So this is just for sharing. So actually, one of the advantages by being the Nearpod certified educator is that we can get the free redemption. So that's where I get the gold account, and that's only this morning. Yesterday, I still working with the silver account. Okay, And alhamdulillah, this morning I got the gold account and it's like for 6 months free. Okay. Do you take a master Nearpod, Doctor? No. It's not a master of Nearpod. It's just that we keep doing using Nearpod, and then we join for the webinars or seminars conducted by Nearpod. I mean, kind of like you attend the training from the Nearpod itself, and then we become the Nearpod trainer as well, and can get the Nearpod certified educator. So hopefully this is kind of like the things that can maybe I don't know, enhance my patience to continually sharings about Nearpod and also other tools, inshallah. Okay, so that's actually just examples of how to add PDF file. Okay, all right. So we have now, if we look back, okay, thank you for the congratulations. All right. Okay. Okay, we can have PowerPoint. We have upload that just now, and then we can add activities in between. Also added PDF file. And if you want to try with image file, okay, you can also have image to be insert into okay, perhaps I can show you on how we can actually also create slide from scratch. Okay, I don't really like to do this because it's kind of like a bit not really difficult. It's easy, but the designing is not so good. So but if you want to have like a very basic or simple slide, you can. Okay, so add content, add slide, and it will bring you to this page. This is like the PowerPoint slide where you can have the or the subtopic here, and then you can image file or whatever here. Okay, or you can have text. Okay, you can have text. If you don't want, you can have. Okay, so you can have point 1. Okay, if you want to have this bullet, you can have. Okay, point 1, point 3, and so on. Okay, and you can also have image. All right. You can choose the layout of themes. Okay. But personally, I don't really like to do this. So normally, I will design my points in PowerPoint, my slides in PowerPoint, and then convert it into Nearpod. I think that's much easier. The only disadvantages of doing that. Okay, so I can save and this one. Yeah. Okay, so when we save it, it will appear in our lesson as well. Okay, so this one is the newly created one. If you want to have more, just add slide again and repeat the process. Okay. Now it's on the advantages if we create the slides in PowerPoint. The slides in PowerPoint, it will become an image. Not edit the text, but this one is really an image. Okay, let me show you the one that I cancel this one first. Edit will be lost. Yes. Okay, sorry, I choose the wrong slide. Okay, I think this one. Okay, this one I have my own text. Okay, this is I created in PowerPoint, but this is my own text. This is the image. But once we convert into Nearpod lesson, everything become an image. So you cannot edit the text here. That's the having it prepared from the PowerPoint. Okay, but if yes,
I've got a question. Okay, you mentioned that we can actually import the slides from let's say our personal file, But can we do the same as well? Meaning we create slides in Nearpod. Can we also reuse the slide somewhere else? Thank you.
Okay. For the time being, you can't. You can't do that. But you can share the Nearpod lessons just by using the sharing code, yeah, or with the link. But it's still in a Nearpod format. So far, we cannot convert it back into PowerPoints or save it into PowerPoints or PDF.
So meaning we can only use it within the Nearpod platform itself, like meaning from one, like let's say one class to another class, we can import like the slides, but not import it outside, yeah?
Yeah, you cannot import it outside, but they can access directly to your Nearpod. So for example, if you want to share it into your online learning, you just share the link or the code. So the student can access to it everywhere, from anywhere.
Okay, all right, thank you. So meaning it is Nearpod's what is it called? It's under DIA's then. It's under DIA license then, yeah?
Yes.
Thank you.
So meaning that is a web-based. Okay, so we always provide the link to the Nearpod lesson. All right. Thank you for that question. Maybe I can ask if we can do that later. Okay. That's the answer for your questions already. Yeah. Okay. So what next? Okay. So this is I'm showing what it means by when I said if we convert from PowerPoints, the text become image. So that's one of the disadvantages. Yeah. Okay. So I just want to answer this one. Yes. Okay. Now let's say that we have done preparing this lesson. Okay. So you can have a title of your lesson here. So for example, here my title is remote learning. Okay. We can save and exit, or we can preview. Okay, so this is what Mina asked just now, whether we can preview our lesson first before we share. Yes, so we can click here and we can preview it. And the preview is student preview, meaning that this is how the students will have a look at our lesson. Okay, so because I start preview from page 4, so it goes to page 4, but you can go to the previous slides to start with. So this is the first slide. Okay, so you can preview it. Okay, so the poll will open up for students to answer. Okay, so can you, if you notice here, this is the student preview, yeah. Okay, go to the next slide. Okay, slide 5. Okay, at the slide 5, we have open-ended questions. So this is what a student will get. Okay, so they can answer it. Okay, and then the quiz. Okay, this is have a here. Okay, so this is how the students will look at, will have a view of our lesson. Okay, we can review until the lesson, or we can, we actually, when we preview, we can test as well. Okay, or we can just skip the quiz. Okay, so for example, if you want to skip the quiz, it will skip to the next slide. Right? Okay, so this is the previewing of the lesson. Okay, once we are satisfied, we can close. Okay, so this, we are now in slide 12. Okay, we go to slide. Okay, the web browser we shared just now. So when student receive this, slide, they can click to open the web page. Okay. Next slide. Okay, that's the end of the slide. Okay, slide 14. All right, so if you are satisfied, okay, sorry, this is the last one. Here, on top of your the right side, we can edit again if you want to add more. If you feel like, oh, I want to add more activities, you can do that here. Okay. The best thing that maybe I can share is there is one copy button here. Okay, this is for copying file. So for example, you want to have copy of this quiz because you don't want to create from scratch. Okay, you can copy and then you go where you want it to be pasted and you paste it. That was successfully pasted. Okay, so you have quiz back to back here. So if you want to rearrange, just drag where you want it to be. Okay, maybe one of the things that might be of interest, if we want to have, if we want to copy slides from other lesson. Okay, I will show that later. Before that, we save and exit first. Okay, so when you save and exit, you will be asked to provide your lesson details. So the title, the descriptions, if you like, and then grades. Okay, for example, this is for PD or for higher ed. Okay, you can have a few choices there. And what subject? Okay, for maths, fine arts, okay, or others. Okay, so and exit. Okay, when you save and exit, you go to your Nearpod library. It will bring you to your Nearpod library. Okay, so can you see here my Goal user account? I just got it this morning. So previously, if you just sign up, you will get the account. Okay, so this is the lessons that I have created just now. This one, yeah, and this is the lesson that I use for the training just now. Okay, what if I want to have one slide or two from this lesson and put it here? I can do that. I just go to this slide, edit. Okay, this lesson has an active code by editing. Okay, because active code for this one, I don't want to do that. So I will use the other lesson. This one. I have made some duplicates for this lesson actually. Okay, so I want to take one slide from this lesson and put it to the other. Okay, so just imagine that this slide hasn't been there. So I want to copy this. So you copy, Control C. Okay, and then you go to your library. Okay, open up lesson that you want to paste that slide into. Okay, and you paste it. So this slide is pasted from another lesson, not own site, yeah, own lesson. Even though it's the same one, but this one is taken from another lesson. Okay, so that's some of the tips that I can share with you. Okay, in preparing the lesson. Okay, so let's say we have done with the lesson and we want to launch the lesson. It can either be synchronous or asynchronous. Okay, so if you hover your mouse, you will see lesson and student pace. So this is where we want to launch the lesson. It can either be live lesson, meaning that you want to do it now. You want to launch it now. Okay, so you will get the code like what I did before. So I share the code with the students. ask the students to go to join.nearpod.com and fill in that code. Okay, so they can join it. Okay. Once the student has joined, you can see their participation on down here, number of participants. Now no one joining, so 0 participants. But like the one that we did, we have like around 40 participants in the lesson, so it will appear here. All right. So that's for live lesson. Okay. So I end session. Yes. Go to the report soon. Let's say you want to launch for student base. Okay, meaning asynchronous. You want to have the code or the link, but the students can have access to it at their own. Doesn't necessarily now. Yeah. So you go to student base. Will get a code. So this code share with your students, or you can get here. Okay. You get the link. You copy the link into the WhatsApp group or online learning or to any platform that you use, social media, email, and so on. Okay. And you can here the expiration date of the code, meaning that when you want to disable this lesson. So for this one, it will be valid from today, May 7th, until Saturday, June 6th, which is like around 1. Okay, but if you want to make it so you can adjust here. Okay, so instead of a month, you can have it like for 2 weeks. Okay, and then apply. Okay, so the code that you will share with your student for the asynchronous learning, or you can have the link down here, okay, to be copied to WhatsApp groups, other platform. Okay. Okay, next, let's see that we have done with the lessons. Okay, so now we are on our own, coming up to our Nearpod lesson, and we want to have a look at our previous sessions. So we here, okay, in library you have subplans and you have reports. Okay, you have reports here. Okay, click there on the reports. And it will show you all the lessons that you have conducted. So for example, this is the one that we have this morning. Remote learning made easy with Nearpod. So we have sessions at this one with 48 students. Okay, so we can click here and we will the reports. We will get the summary on students' participation. We will get the student name, okay, and their participations. So for example, ABC didn't take part in the poll, open-ended, and so on. So 0 participations. Asma took part in poll, open-ended, but 50% on the quiz, 0 on draw it. So around 80% participations. So we have the log of our students' participation. Okay, we have N. Kushairi here, Dr. Noliza, Kaija. Okay, 0. Okay, Naziha, Nazrina, Nur Azliza. Is this Liza from UMT? Okay, and so on. Okay, so my suggestion, if you want to conduct a lesson with our students, please ask them to provide their student ID. It can be in other names or in the nickname, so that it's easier for us to go back and check on their participation. And we can go to each individual activities that we have conducted, and we can go one by one again. Okay, so this is where the report is. So it has the summary, overall summary of the quiz, and also individual responses. So I think this is the analytics part that some of you might be interested in. Okay, and so on. You will have everything here. So it's really been captured in the Nearpod account. Okay, together with the slides and also with the activities. Okay.
Doktor, untuk session report ni available tak untuk free account?
Sorry, again?
Yang session report ni untuk yang free account, yang silver account memang boleh akses ke?
Ada. Ada. Free account pun ada.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I dah try dah yesterday. And before ni pun memang I guna free account. Actually, I've been using free account for quite some times, and then I managed to get gold account. I refer other people to join in. At that time, there's a referral code that we can share with other people, so we can invite others to join Nearpod. And if they join based on the referral code, we can get kind of like points. And once we reach the point, we can get redemptions for upgrading our account. But then after a while, it's expired already. So I back to silver, and alhamdulillah, today I got the gold account back for 6 months, for the next 6 months. Okay, so there's always a way, okay, to upgrade to the gold account, inshallah. Okay, that's about the report. Okay, so it will list all, yeah, but if we are not doing activities on matching pairs, so no data on that. Okay, and we can also download this report into PDF or this is the, I think, Excel file. Yeah, so you can have that. I did this last time when I conducted like kind of like tests with our students. So it's kind of like open-ended questions. So they have to answer several questions. But then when it's time to marking, I don't want to do it online, so I download it into PDF. So I can mark it, print it, and mark outside Nearpod. Okay, that's all about Nearpod. Okay, so whenever you are lost, you feel that you are lost, you just click this My Library button. Okay, so it will bring you back to your library. Okay. Okay, so that's all about Nearpod. I hope that you all can try after this. And maybe if there's any other questions before we end, let me check on the chat room. That we have done this. Thank you, Dr. Na. I need workshop. Yes, please. Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing. Okay, thank you. Okay, any other questions?
Dr. Nas, saya nak tanya, bila kita create slides dalam Nearpod, kan ada satu icon dekat bawah tu. Itu ada untuk kita rakam suara ataupun kita import any audio file.
Oh, ada mana? Saya rasa itu, if we have that audio button, we can actually record our voice. But previously, it's only for gold and up. So perhaps now it open for a silver account as well. Something went wrong. Please try again. Okay. Let me go back to my library. Okay, you can try. If it's enabled in the silver account, you can just press that audio and try to record yourself. Otherwise, if it asks for upload audio file, it means that you have to upload audio file. So it will be played together with that slide.
Thank you.
Okay, I will try later because okay. Add slide, add content, slide. This right?
Yeah, betul.
Yeah. See, there's two options here. You can either audio record, meaning that or you can upload an audio file. So if you click audio recorder, you can record your own voice. But sorry, I can't do this now because my browser doesn't support recording audio because I'm just using Safari. So if you are using Chrome or Firefox, you can try that. Okay. You can upload audio file. Okay, choose audio file and upload it. Okay, so there's two options here. Okay, thank you for raising that because I didn't notice it because last time it was only for that's another good option. So you can have this will be good to support the asynchronous lesson. So if you want to do the asynchronous lesson, you can embed the audio with the record with the lesson so that the students can also listen to your discussions or elaborations of the points from your lesson. Before we end, we almost come to the end. Okay, Dr. Izwan shared on the chat for the training evaluation, perhaps TLC evaluation. So please click there and provide your evaluation for today's workshop. Okay, that's all. If there's no other questions, thank you so much for joining, for staying until the end of the session. Hopefully, you can try and explore it further and try it with your students. And you can always refer to the remote learning guidelines from the HA website, okay, to assist you in preparing the lesson.